Okay, so how did you first fall in love with theatre?
So I was always like quite a theatrical kid, kind of doing shows when I was younger. But I think the first thing that kind of made me interested was actually wrestling. So my auntie used to take me around to watch like local wrestling groups, and then seeing those every time they came, then went into seeing shows. And like I used to play musical instruments, used to sing a bit, and then so we used to see a bit of theatre, and then yeah, it was kind of from there I got involved in myself doing amateur dramatics and sort of dance, and then yeah, that's kind of ended there. But yeah, the kind of a love started being involved with it in school, basically.
So how did Rhys Reviews start?
So yeah, so when I reached a certain age, I think it was the end of like beginning of college, end of high school. So I'd done lots of community shows and sort of dance groups and stuff. And at that point, you kind of have to make that choice of like, is this something I'm going to pursue sort of professionally or not, basically? Because you, like, adults don't have fun hobbies. I mean, they do, but you, as a child, you think that's what, whatever your hobbies are is what you do for the rest of your life. Um, so it came to that point, and I still wanted to be involved with theatre, but obviously couldn't go into the sort of degree and university stuff because I wasn't good enough, I wasn't at that level. So I wanted to still be involved with theatre, but obviously had to make that decision. So decided to kind of see shows and then just literally just tell people what I thought of them. Um, Sort of just being like, oh, this was good, this was bad, just as like informal chats. And then after a while of doing that, I went to the company, get the chance, reached out to me about reviews and just writing for them. And it's a social enterprise that kind of helps people who otherwise wouldn't be able to access theatre sort of be able to access it.
Fantastic.
And so I did that for a little bit, and then sort of my page just kind of spread from there of just wanting a place where I can put all my reviews. So kind of the Rhys Reviews space was born. So just kind of wanting to put all my thoughts into one space rather than having a bit on this page, a bit on that page. So initially, it wasn't going to be a thing. I wasn't. That's not what I was going to pursue. It's not where my career was going. I just wanted somewhere to put all the reviews so I could go. Oh, remember when I saw that? Remember when I watched this show? Um, so it kind of grew from there, and then kind of going more and more independent. Obviously, just kind of scaled up and went from there.
Lovely. So what do you think makes you a great reviewer?
So I actually don't like the name. I don't like being called a reviewer because I don't think I kind of that's what I do. I know it's Rhys Reviews, and that's kind of the industry term is reviewer. But I don't pick apart shows and go, this was bad, this needed work, this wasn't good enough. Like, there's lots of people who do that, and don't get me wrong, it's made a career for them, and they've kind of, are making lots and lots of money off that. But I don't, that's not my style, that's not what I do. I veer more into a sort of a blogger, so rather than going, this wasn't good, this was bad, it's if you like this sort of thing, this is a show for you. This show is about, if that interests you, go
Fantastic.
watch it. I did a lot of community theatre shows, sort of reviewing community theatre shows, and you can't compare those to sort of your
Obviously, yeah,
West End, your touring productions. So I don't think it's right to go, well, this piece of scenery didn't match the big West End show, it's not going to. But the talent is still the same, so going, this is the show that I've seen, if you like this, you go see it. I mean, also, as I said earlier, sort of being involved with amateur dramatics, kind of have an understanding of the chaos that happens backstage during shows. So, an actor has tripped and fallen halfway through a show, and they have to cover it up or whatever, or you've forgotten a line, or just physically moving sets and props. Having an idea of how that chaos kind of functions backstage kind of informs the way I write about shows. It's not just this didn't look good, but going, oh well, they had a plane on the stage or a helicopter. That must have been wild, and that having an appreciation of that kind of helps me get in the mind of not just someone watching it, but also the people behind the stage. Of going, yeah, your work and effort was worth it because it did look amazing, or it was really show-stopping. So kind of having those two views really helps, and then remembering that I am there to promote the show, not to pick it apart and say, oh, your dancing was offbeat or your singing was off key at this single second in the show. I think that's what makes me good at what I do. But I think everyone can do it. I think everyone should do it. I think everyone should just write their views online of what they thought of a show. You know, do I agree with everyone? No, but having that sort of massive scale of reviews and opinions would really help the theatre industry, which needs it now more than ever, kind of excel and grow. So I think everyone should review. I'm just a lucky one who's sort of made a career out of it.
Nice. So where does the character of Rhys Reviews come from?
So yeah, I get a lot of this of people thinking that my name is actually Rhys Reviews, like my government name, and obviously it's not. And I never wanted it to be a character as such. It's not. We're not doing drag. We're not doing a show. I am me. However, it has kind of grown into this sort of character, this sort of, I don't know, caricature of myself. I'm not saying it's a totally different person. It's just
Obviously.
me turned up. But like the name itself, again, just came sort of randomly by accident. So when I was starting that Facebook page, as I said, didn't want it to be a career. So I just put it as Rhys's Reviews. So the space where I put my reviews, and I forgot or couldn't put an apostrophe in, and so the page was called Rhys Reviews, just by chance. And then it went from there. And also, obviously, it's nice. It's got alliteration. It tells people what I do. But it was just a random coincidence that I forgot or couldn't put in an apostrophe, and that's how the sort of name came about. Genuinely, it's just random coincidence.
So where does the three-time BAFTA Award winner come from?
So, those who have spent like even just a minute with me, I will recite, and I've done it 3 times today off camera, my whole accolades of 3-time BAFTA Award winner, TV personality, international reviewer, Missouri star, Bright and Proud featured artist, Queen of the Palace winner, supporting act, professional DJ, and soon to be model. And that, I think it started as a joke of like, those people who introduce themselves as being like, "Hi, I'm the business manager of blah 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 blah." It's like, well, why do I need to know that? Or like, "Oh, hi, I run this thing." And you're like, we're not. Obviously, if you're in a business sense, then yeah. But like, I've met people in like the city centre who will come over and be like, "Yeah, I run this page, or I do this for a living." You're like, I don't need to know that. It's not relevant right now. So it started as a bit of a joke, but the actual words in there are also half truths. So they're not totally false, but they're not totally true. So the 3-time BAFTA Award winner bit comes from the fact that I've been on 3 shows, and the seasons of the shows I was on have won BAFTAs. So when I was very young, I was on Lorraine, because I was a Slimming Young Person Ambassador, and that season won a BAFTA. I was an extra on Sex Education, obviously filmed in Newport, which won a BAFTA for their season. Actually, I think they won a few. But yeah, so I won a BAFTA for that season, and I also actually reviewed the premiere episodes.
Oh wow!
I was invited, which was really like full circle moment of like behind the camera, in front of the camera. So that won a BAFTA, and I was on Judge Rinder, and that season also won a BAFTA. I was in the jury, kind of doing the whole, yes, oh no, that's wrong. So I like to claim that by osmosis I have 3 BAFTAs, when in fact I don't. But then the other kind of accolades in that sort of speech are again half truths. So like 3-time TV personality. So when I was on Lorraine, a company had stolen the photos and whacked a watermark over it, so you could buy them if you wanted to. And as the sort of title, they put Rhys Payne TV personality. And obviously, I was 11 at the time, and I thought that was like the coolest thing of like, you can buy photos of me online. I did once try buy so many that I could make wallpaper out of them, but I couldn't find them. Not wallpaper, wrapping paper. But yeah, so they called me TV personality, and then TV personality, international review. Well, again, I mean that is not like half truth in that I have reviewed shows from all over the world, whether they're virtually, in person, interviewed people from America, from Germany, from Scotland, from America, like all over the place. So again, an exaggeration, but not a total lie. And I think there's something funny about having a long list of accolades that are just so ridiculously like over the top. Like normal people would be like, "Oh, I'm Rhys Reviews, a theatre reviewer." I just think it's really funny having like a long, I think it was 15 seconds. Ruby made a little video, like a Star Wars style thing, and a 15-second sort of big reel, like almost script of how I introduce myself. I just think that's really funny. Yeah.
So, how do you deal with the possible challenges of running a busy and popular blog alongside other work commitments?
Yeah, so Rhys Reviews isn't yet a full-time job, it isn't a full-time career. I used to say I didn't want that. I think kind of now it's more like, oh, actually, that would be fantastic. But balancing that alongside like work and other commitments, it is tough. And I'm not saying I'm the most organized or most sort of efficient with my time, but just finding the time to go, right, okay, even if I just do 10 minutes here and 10 minutes there over 4 days, I can edit a video or I can write a review. Or like I'm on this bus for an hour now, that's the time I can use. Um, it is tough, especially if I have to travel for shows. It's physically finding the time to go, right, okay, well, it's 3 hours to London, 3 hour show, 3 hours back. How can I fit that into my day already? And if I can't, I can't. I can't, I'm not, I might be fantastic, but I can't magic up time. So it's just about fitting it all together. And obviously, as Rhys Reviews grows, it's going to become harder and harder. But hopefully, it'll start generating more income so that I can scale back sort of normal
Yeah, we can hope.
work activities and just focus on that.
I'm sure there's many, but what's been a highlight for you so far?
Well, there's yeah, as you said, there's quite a few. There's yeah. I think like every time I get a press email or a press invite to something, or someone reaches out to me going, "I've got this thing," I do a little dance because it is like, oh yes, someone has found my stuff, likes what I do, and wants me there at a show. So every sort of message invite is like a little celebration for me. But things that I've done that have been particularly like, wow, probably. Well, like the first interview I did on YouTube has like a very special place in my heart. The Broadway star just took a random gamble on me, no videos, no nothing, and was like, "I'd love you to chat to me." It was Ashley Griffin, and she wrote a musical during lockdown. But it's a gamble. Like I'm a random stranger who's reached out to them on, I think it was Instagram. Then to go, oh, actually, I'll sit down and chat to you to make the official sort of promo, well, not an unofficial promo, but part of their brand, was just really, really like nice and really kind. She didn't have to. I'm not paying her. It was just really, really nice. But I think probably, and I think it will be for a long time, one of the greatest things I've done is the BAFTA Awards, the Cymru BAFTA Awards. Attending that was just surreal, just a fantastic event. That yeah, I don't think I will. For a while, I've not topped that, but fingers
So,
crossed.
what are your plans for the next 6 months?
Next 6 months, okay. So I mean, continuing to do what I do, obviously to a bigger scale. So I'd love to see more shows. I'd love to do more interviews. I'd love to be all over the place. In terms of like what I could mark down and go, this is my plan. I think I'd like to produce a show, and sort of, the selfish part of me wants to host, but go in, right, this is the show I want to do. I've toyed with this idea for a while of like a Rhys Reviews and Friends, of like people who've supported me or invited me to their events, or sort of took a gamble on me, and kind of going, this is my thank you to you. Here's an event that you can showcase what you do, and obviously hype them up as well and go, they really helped me out, and obviously fantastic talent or whatever it is. I think it'd be really fun to do that within 6 months. And like I've got a venue would like, and I've got performers that I think would be good for the first one. But yeah, within 6 months, I think I would like to sort of put on a show as a celebration of all things Rhys Reviews and the people who've helped me get there.
Interesting. So, where can people find you?
Great question, and I don't know the answer. Everywhere, just any theatre show, any drag show in Cardiff. No, we're on TikTok. I believe it's Rhys.Reviews, but I will check and put the link in the description so people can kind of click away. Instagram, Facebook, Blue Sky, WordPress, pretty much all social media. Obviously TikTok is seems to be really popular at the moment. So we do post, I would say, mostly on there, but for sort of updates on shows and things I'm up to, Instagram is where I kind of post I'm here tonight or I'm doing this on Wednesday. So those are the two main ones. But yeah.
And so, linking into that, is that kind of the best places to stay up to date with you?
So TikTok and Instagram probably be the ones I use the most. If you like, if you want to read the reviews and sort of check them out, probably the easiest place is Facebook because you can post the links and people can click and it redirects them. But I do put them on my stories on Instagram and post occasionally on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, that's probably where the best places, those three. But to read actually what I'm writing about is probably Facebook.
So if you could go back in time to when you first started Rhys Reviews, what advice would you give yourself?
Ooh, give myself advice. I think I started it really oddly because it was during lockdown. So for me, it was something to do. It wasn't a job. It wasn't like I wanted to get people following. It was just something to do because, you know, for 2 years we sat in our homes and did nothing. Or apart from lots of drinking and pub quizzes. But it was just something to do to fill the time. I think the advice I would give myself when I first started is, ooh,
It's a tough one.
stuck. Okay. The advice I'd probably give myself is to just write more, to just put everything down. Are all the posts going to do well? No. Are all your videos going to be like fantastic and go viral? No. It does take time. You know, it's taken 7 years and I'm still not where not where I want to be, but where it can make a full-time income, it can be a job, it can be a career.
Yeah, obviously.
But it's taken those 7 years. But getting that content out is what's most important. Of like, you know, I saw this is great, this wasn't my favourite. Just pushing stuff out as much as I physically can. And even now, you know, I'm fairly busy, but I do want to do more. I want to be that annoying person on Facebook where you're like, oh, God, them again. That's what I'm aiming for, of like, almost, obviously I don't want people to, but almost like, should I block them? That's the level I want to get to, of like, I want to be posting all the time, whether it's videos, reviews, interviews. I want to be annoying. I think we should bring that back. Let's be more annoying
Totally.
and just share our stuff online. But also, I think the advice for me would be just stick to what you do. Don't try and change based on a site that wants your work or a blog or whoever is asking for something. Stick to who you are, because it's not, you know, I'm not the world's best reviewer. I'm not the most eloquent writer. I don't have the best equipment. But that is the brand. That is who Rhys Reviews is, but also who I am. Of like, I see what I want because I want to. Very rarely do I see a show and go, oh, do I have to see that? I actually can't think of a single time that's happened. But being yourself, not just on social media, but also in real life, of like, I'll see shows because I want to, and keeping that sort of image in, I think it'd be really important for younger me to be like, people like your reviews not because they're the world's best or the most insightful or the best written, because they like the way that you write or communicate. I think, yeah, like, keeping it Rhys Reviewsy